Canada's oldest retailer appears to have found a lifeline, with Hudson's Bay announcing plans to keep 6 stores open despite asking an Ontario court to begin liquidating its assets. Hudson's Bay is looking to kick off the liquidation process as soon as this coming Monday. A representative for the retailer says it's asking to keep some stores open now, as reports of the company heading towards bankruptcy has prompted a flurry of support from its customers, many of whom are looking to snap up the iconic Hudson's Bay designs, including its famed striped products. Court documents also show the company is looking to wrap up the liquidation sales by June 15th. But just how will the liquidation process play out? That's the question. With more, we're joined virtually by David Soberman, a professor of marketing at the University of Toronto. David, thank you so much for joining us. I want to start with the busy week that we had keeping an eye on this. Hudson's Bay was reportedly on the brink of bankruptcy, but now the company seems to be seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. What does it say to you now that customers have been turning up looking to support Canada's oldest retailer?
Well, I think it's positive. I don't think it means that there's going to be a big change in the course of action, although there is now a sort of information that I've heard that 7 of the stores will be sort of partitioned off from the rest of the stores in terms of the liquidation process.
So what kind of moves does the company need to make to keep these stores open?
Well, it's unclear to me. But I guess in some regard, the idea will be to try to get the merchandise out of the remaining, I guess it would be 73 stores as quickly as possible. And obviously those stores aren't profitable for the company. So the quicker they are able to do that, the better it will be. Then they can revisit the 7 stores that they have and see what they can do to try to make those stores a viable proposition as they move forward.
The company is also asking a judge for liquidation to begin as soon as Monday. And I don't want this to come off as, everyone is excited because they may expect to find some sort of deal. It is sad to be experiencing a loss for a lot of these shoppers who do frequent Hudson's Bay. But what kind of deals can they expect as a result here?
Well, typically you're going to find that the deals start off with certain percentage off all of the regular prices, might be 10, 15, 20%. And only when the date of liquidation starts to get closer, then you'll start seeing deeper discounts in order to get the merchandise out. So at the beginning of these liquidation sales, there's deals to be had, but there's not the sort of deals that maybe some people are looking for, like 50% off. I doubt you'll see that to start.
Yeah, we definitely saw that play out when they had their Hudson's Bay store at Yonge and Bloor, and they went through that process as well. And in this situation, too, a lot of customers are looking at their points here that they've been collecting from the stores for decades. Should they be rushing to cash in right now, or is it safe to wait?
Well, I would say if you're able to cash them in, I would do it as soon as possible, because it seems to me that in the order of claims that various creditors might have against Hudson Bay, points in their frequent shopper program would be one of the lowest in the totem pole in terms of getting compensation. So if you can get something using your points right now, I would say do it.
I know how we shopped has changed over the years, especially with, the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people moved to purchasing things online. But when you look at Hudson's Bay, this is a massive store. It occupies prime real estate in some of the biggest malls and locations across our country here. So Hudson's Bay going through this process, what do you think this says about the state of retail and the landscape in Canada?
Well, I think we have to sort of divide your question in two. First, I don't really think there's a problem with the state of retail, because we have many retailers from Canadian Tire to Walmart to Home Depot that are doing really well. So certain retailers are thriving. But on the other hand, when it comes to looking at the department store format, which is something that's been around for more than a century, we've seen a steady decline in the number of operating department stores in Canada. The first to go was Simpson Sears, then it was the Bay, then it was Sears, and now it looks as if the Bay is on its last legs. So I think what this means is that these stores themselves are more vulnerable to online options, in the sense that online stores provide shoppers with a better opportunity to get many of the items available in department stores at a better price. And in addition, we have what I would call focused retailers, whether it's a Canadian Tire, whether it's a big box store, whether it's smaller retailers. They're more focused, and they're probably better able to meet the needs of shoppers than a big department store like the Bay.
All right, we'll see what plays out in the coming days and weeks. David Soberman, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.